Hi, welcome back to our minisode.
What are you
I
laughing
was
at?
just dying. Like, before we did that, I was just like dying. I don't know why, I was just laughing. I was waving my hands about. It was just like, I was dying not to laugh. Like,
Yeah, I could see you on the screen looking like you're about to burst into.
I don't know. I don't know. We've had a funny time before this, so I'm like in a weird, funny mood now. I'm just all giggly.
Yeah. Welcome back to the minisode. I love the minisode.
Oh, goodness. Right, Josh, how are you today?
Yeah. Mate, yeah, I'm good. I feel like on the past episodes I've complained a lot about the weather, so I should tell you that today it's really cloudy. It's like white all over. It's kind of cold. It's really nice here. I love it.
Oh my gosh, well, I complained previously that it was really cold here, and now it's really hot here, and it's lush. And I love
No
it.
way.
It's like blue skies, it's like about 20 degrees. Stunning. I've just been sitting in the garden.
Oh, nice. Have you had any? Have you had any nice? I don't know. Any events happen? Anything? Any news to
Well,
share?
yesterday I saw like a swarm of bees, which was the weirdest thing I've
Oh,
ever seen. And I heard it about 4 minutes before I saw it, and it was terrifying because it was like behind me, and I had no idea what was going on. And I honestly thought one of my
oh.
neighbors, like behind, was like keeping bees and they just opened the hive or something like that because the noise just all of a sudden I was like, is that bees? Like, is that bees I can hear? What is going on? And it was like for
Someone in the
ages.
neighbourhood just keeping bees.
Yeah, I was like, someone's got like a beehive in their garden. You know, like the like the white things. Oh, thank you for that.
I'm so
Do
sorry.
do do.
I should just I should just preface by saying that I told Jess to put her phone on silent
Yeah.
before then my phone just went
And
off.
the way that you said it as well, you were like, right, can you put your phone on silent and make sure it's not going to buzz all the way through this? That's what he said. And I was like, oi, bitch,
Oh
my
gosh.
phone is always on silent. My phone hasn't made a
I
noise
apologise.
since like
I'm so
2008.
sorry. No, no, no. That's a lie. Your phone's blowing up as of late.
Oh my God,
For
no. It's
one
not as of
reason.
late.
Please
As
share.
of yesterday night. As of yesterday night, I decided to rejoin Tinder, like for the first time in
Mm,
ages. It's been ages, right? So I
mm,
decided I was
mm.
going to go back on there because that is the stage of help that I need, like during this lockdown. That's where I'm at.
What are you on there for? Are you on there for saucy pictures? Are you
No,
on there
I'm
for
on there for
dates? Do you
giggles.
want?
I'm on there
Oh,
for
okay, even
absolute, like,
better.
I'm not on there. I don't want to meet anyone. I hate men. I'm very anti dating, very anti boyfriend. Not in like an ironic way, in a genuine, I hate other people way.
Can you tell me since last night what's been the most interesting
So,
part of Tinder?
we were talking about this before, and it was really funny. We were laughing. So, I said that basically every picture of every male is the same. They all pull the same face, right? And that face is like the camera is just slightly below them, tilted upwards, which is a terrible angle. Please, men, stop doing that angle. Okay? What you want is an above angle and slightly tilted downwards. That's the angle that you need. Okay? But
Okay.
nevertheless, they do this angle so the camera's down and is tilted upwards. And they pull the same straight face with their eyebrows. I don't know how they managed to do it, but their eyebrows are just straight across. It's like they've got a monobrow without this like the middle bit. It's like they're just straight, and then
And very dark.
they have like this. They don't smile. They just pull the most serious face, and they think that's hot, and it's not. It's like serial killer like. I don't like it. Stop doing that.
It's it's the funniest part about this conversation is that completely unplanned. We were just chatting about our day before we started recording, and Jess told me about this situation of she's on there, but all the boys look the same because they don't smile, they don't do anything. And I said while I was writing out my notes, Jess was like, "Oh, let me just quickly pop on now and see if I can find someone." And within about 30 seconds,
Not
she
even
sent
that.
me a screenshot of a bloke who fit the description so beautifully.
It was
He just
literally
looked
10
so.
seconds.
It's got the sun in his face, and he's so he's scowling in the picture. It's so funny.
And then I was talking to my friend Jodie, yesterday, and if you're listening, Jode, like this, I was absolutely wetting myself because
Hey, Jode.
hi, Jode. Honest to God, she was like, "Oh, have you seen the grey joggers yet?" And I was just like, "Oh my God, that is so funny," because that's all I see is grey joggers in mirrors. Like, stop wearing grey trackies. It's not hot. It's not.
Like, I haven't been on Tinder in a few years now, but when I was, the one picture that I would come across a lot, that boys had no shame in just like taking a picture next to the urinals in a toilet.
Oh my God.
And I didn't understand it.
That's
I don't get
gross.
it. There's literally like a wee stall next to
I
them, but
don't
they're in
want
the
to see
mirror
you
in the
toiletries.
toilet and
I
take a
don't want
picture.
to. I don't want to know that you've just been for a piss. I don't care.
I just think like the smell of that picture is just
Here's my
it's a
advice.
lot to
Here's
take
my
in.
advice for men on Tinder, okay? Like, if you're going for like just hookups and stuff, no problems with that at all. Make it known because other girls are looking for that as well. We love it when you just tell us straight, okay? So one, if you're looking for like hookups and stuff, fine. Keep with your grey joggers in the mirror and your shirtless pics. That's totally cool. If you're like looking for something more serious, right? Events like you at like an event, if you've gone somewhere, a nice day trip, happy, smiling, goofy, show us your pets. If you have kids, I don't care, show me your kids, let me know, because I like people who aren't
But
afraid of their life.
yeah, can I just say that one thing that really like turns me on about a
Oh,
Tinder profile is when in the profile section, if I like when men write something like I've been hurt before. Don't no bitches. I've had people that don't care. So if you don't care, don't strike my back. That really gets me. That
yeah, because
really gets my.
I was just on there when Josh was looking. I was just on there, and this guy wrote. He literally was just like, "I've been fucked over before, so if you're gonna do that, just fuck off." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Whoa."
And then after this entire rampage, he's like, "But follow me on Twitter and Instagram
Yeah.
and Snapchat."
Here's my Snapchat and here's my Instagram. That's a clear
I
no for
wanna.
me. If you've got like your Snapchat, especially Snapchat or Instagram on there, I'm out. That's not happening.
I want to like pay him to read our like outro. Be like, follow them on Twitter, follow them on Instagram. Don't fuck us around. Don't listen to the podcast if you don't love podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
good
swiped
times.
left so fast on him, so it's already gone.
That's good times.
He's in the
Do you have
ethos
do you
now.
have some fun stories for today?
Yeah, I have another interesting not what you think story, and I have a few creepy things my kids have said for you.
Okay. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first? Do you want to rock paper
I will
scissors
start.
first?
I will start with. That was so like
All right.
defining.
All right, Queen of Sheba.
I will start with a creepy things my kids say, right?
Okay, cool.
Okay, so this one spoke to me because it's something I would have said as a kid. My daughter's friend's dad, okay, following me. My daughter's friend's
Yeah.
dad, Ian,
Mm-hmm.
is the name, came in
Oh,
for a
hi,
cup
Ian.
of tea one day, and when he came to pick up his daughter, my girl, Izzy, was playing with a toy sword. Ian said to her, "You know, Izzy, the pen is mightier than the sword." And Izzy said, "I know, yeah, because you can stab someone in the neck with a pen."
Yes, Izzy.
That is me. That is so me. Also, hats off to that dad for not
Oh my
being like,
god.
Izzy, you should play with a princess. No, it's just like, the pen is mightier than the sword. Hats off to that dad. I like that as well.
Yeah.
He made an attempt, and Izzy shot him down.
Yeah, but Izzy's been watching like serious Game of Thrones
Yeah.
and was ready to Arya that bitch.
Yeah, exactly. She's called that
That's so
sword. That
good.
little toy sword is called Needle.
That's so great.
I know.
Oh,
I like that one.
okay. What have I got? What have I got? What have I got? Okay, I think mine might be a bit more serious. I'm not sure, but anyway. So I was scrolling through Reddit again, and I found this story. This girl, Inglorious Beats, said, lived in a relatively nice neighborhood growing up. Everybody knew everybody else. I was about 9 or 10, and I was home alone by myself after school while my parents were still working. There was a knock on our front door, and so I went to answer it, thinking it was probably one of the neighbours.
Mm.
At our front door was a 20-something-year-old man. He was really sweaty and out of breath.
Ew.
Told me that he was training for a marathon.
Gross.
He's been running through our neighbourhood, and she'd seen him. And was wondering if I could get him a cup of water really quick.
No.
I thought it was slightly odd, but nothing else really weirded me out at the time, and I was young, so he handed me his own cup,
Ew.
to which I took to the sink, filled up, and then gave back to him, which after he left. Of course, I told my parents that a strange man had been to our doorstep asking for a cup of water, and they flipped out, talking about the stranger danger discussion.
Uh-huh.
They told me never to open the door to a stranger again. My dad told me that thieves had been canvassing the area, so that there was maybe potential thief in the area or potential kidnappers, but really, who knows?
I always think about that when people come to my door for like weird situations. I'm the first thing I think, because I'm quite a sinister person. That's the first thing that I think, and I'm just like, if you're profiling the joint, don't bother, because I will literally kill you.
Yeah. I think in the UK that was more prevalent than it is here, because I get NHK, which is like the TV service here that wants you to pay.
Oh my god, they are hideous.
But
I hate them.
bar that, I don't get many people. Nobody will come. I mean, I also live in an apartment, so I'm kind of lucky. But
Yeah.
nobody will come canvassing here as much as they do, I guess, in Western countries where it's quite popular.
Yeah.
But it is quite freaky, someone to come to your door. I don't know. There is something strange about it, isn't it? And I think I think me and you probably have read too much stuff like this, where it's like they got into the house or they would offering, to do something, and then they take over. We're just too cynical now.
I know. Yeah, exactly. Cynical. That's a good word. Very cynical.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, I've got a story for you. It's like
Okay.
not what you expect. Okay, so
Okay.
this guy is called Ingemar Westland, and he's from Sweden. Okay.
Oh, lovely.
Age 68, he found the dead body of his wife, Agneta, and she was 63, by a lake close to the village of Loftahammar in September 2008.
Okay.
And he was immediately arrested and held in police custody for 10 days. And then he posted bail and moved back into like his house, apparently. And everyone was like, well, he's a murderer. He's like killed his wife. Everyone's like hates him. They're not happy with it, whatever. And he's always saying like, no, I'm innocent. I absolutely loved her. I would never do that. So like, into the investigation and whatever, the police are convinced it's him. But they have like no evidence to like, really get him. So his wife had last been seen taking the family dog out for a walk in the forest. When she failed to return, her husband went to look for her, which is when most people think that he went and killed her. I don't think he actually went. I think he might have gone to prison for a bit because they were just like, he obviously killed her. But there wasn't a lot of detail, to be honest. But here's the twist. After forensic analysis, investigators found elk hair and saliva on his wife's clothes. So an elk is like a moose, okay? It's like not a big moose. Mooses are massive. Have you ever seen a moose?
Yeah, moose are huge. And isn't an elk like a cross, like it's like halfway between a deer and a moose?
Yeah, I think
Is
so.
an elk?
I think so. So they found elk hair and saliva on her clothes. So European elk are usually considered to be shy and would normally run away from humans. So for a while they were still like, oh, was that you?
No, that wasn't me.
I don't know. I heard a like email noise. It's not me. I don't have an email. That's weird. Anyway, so they're usually shy and they would normally run away. But it wasn't until a Swedish radio station was talking about elks and how they can sometimes become aggressive after eating fermented fallen apples. So there's like a season in September where all the apples fall to the ground and they start to rot and they become fermented, and the elks eat it and then they get drunk on these apples because they're fermented.
Oh my god.
So a drunk elk becomes aggressive and it basically killed her. So this guy got released. Right, you can't see it, but Josh is like wetting himself for some reason. Because an elk got drunk on apples and beat this woman to death.
I'm so sorry.
Isn't that insane?
That's so sad. That's
Isn't
awful.
that insane? The police were like, yeah, we got you now, you bastard. You've killed it. And then they found like
gosh.
elk saliva and they were like, oh, hang on a second. Isn't this the
my
season
God.
where there's drunk elves? Like, elves?
I'm so sorry.
Elks running
Absolutely
around.
no No disrespect to the family, no disrespect to her. That is terrible. Just the fact of someone getting beaten to death by an elk. That's awful. A drunk elk coming by and like punching you up. I don't know. Oh god.
Punching you up.
That's so funny. Oh god. But I'm so sorry. That's so rude to laugh. Oh god. That was good. Oh my god. That's kind of scary that
I
each
know.
year that happens and there's a drunk elk walking around ready to
No one
beat
go
a
to
bitch
Sweden in September.
up.
So you get beaten by a drunk elk.
Drunk elks.
Jeez,
Oh,
Louise.
that's good. Okay, I've got one. Late at night when I was a teenager, must have been around 1 a.m. I was watching YouTube and my phone had an alert. My phone is connected to our security system, so whenever something happens, it gives me an alert for a few seconds before ringing so that you can cancel it if it's something that you have done. So I'm home alone and I decide to just cancel the alarm. I slowly get out of my room and I crept downstairs, trying to quietly jump down from higher places without much. Huh? Right, I've messed up this story. Let me see this again. Let me just say this again.
So
Hang on. So the teenager is home alone. It's around 1 a.m. He's watching YouTube. The phone alerts him and he cancels the alarm, right?
Mm-hmm.
I slowly get out of my room and creep down with a Renaissance knife that he bought, like a Renaissance fair.
Oh my god.
It's very cute. That he'd bought a couple of weeks ago, and he heard a thud in the house. It sounded like someone trying to quietly jump down from a high place, but not trying to make much noise. That's what I was getting at earlier, but I said it wrong.
Right.
So it sounds like someone is getting down from somewhere, and that slight thud of like someone's feet trying to creep into the house he heard. Then he could hear footsteps and creaking coming from the kitchen. He got really alarmed, so he starts slowly going towards the kitchen with his adrenaline pumping and not thinking properly. Knife in one hand, he turns on the light with the other, prepared to fight for his life. But it turns out it was just the cat that he had forgot had existed because he was so petrified. The reason I read that one is because I remember years and years and years ago, I had a situation kind of similar to that where me and a friend, she would come over to my house and we would sleep in the living room and we'd like alternate, like 1 week she'd come to mine, 1 week I'd go to hers.
Yeah.
So she came over to mine one night and my mom would let us buy a film off of like the Sky film store.
Yeah.
So we'd always sit downstairs with the big telly and we'd like order a scary film on the Sky, you know, like the cable service. And we're like sitting there. So we are both getting like, you know, into the film, getting creeped out. And our doors is one of those doors where like, because when it shuts, it locks by itself, it makes a noise. So we heard the door shut. And, oh my God, that was it. We absolutely shat our pants. So we get up and we go straight to the kitchen, and out of the knife like block, I take out this biggest butcher knife possible. And I'm like almost crying and looking at her and I'm like, what the hell are we going to do? And she's like, should we just slowly walk around the house? Because I don't think anyone's here. We can't hear any noises. So we go around the house with knife in hand. I am about to stab a bitch. Like, I'm so on edge. And you know me, when I'm scared, I jump at everything.
Yeah.
I'll stab. Like, I'm from Birmingham. I'll stab a bitch. So I'm walking around the house and no one's there, obviously. And we get back downstairs and we put the knife back in the knife block and we're like, wow, aren't we dumb?
Yeah.
We just almost killed someone for nothing. Turns out my dad had like forgot his like other car key. So he'd come back, like mom had stayed out and dad came back, got the other car key and walked out. And he was like, Josh, you would have stabbed me. And it was literally just me coming into the house. Like, you have to calm down. And that story reminds me of it. Just don't grab a knife when you hear a noise because it could just be a family member.
Probably, yeah. I mean, that's most likely.
But on the switch side, do grab a knife just in case it is the one time where it's a killer.
Yeah. That's the thing, isn't it? Like, you just never know. Like, okay, get a good look before you actually stab, but always have the knife.
Yeah. Train yourself on effective stabbing.
I got another creepy thing my kid says, right?
Okay.
So this one's like a conversation. So it's my 5-year-old. Mum, I need you to throw away 2 of my Barbies. Me, which is the mum. Why? Her. Because they looked back at me.
Disgusting.
Isn't that horrible? I was one of those kids. So I used to love Toy Story, of course. I absolutely adored Toy Story as a kid. But it also terrified me, the concept that my toys could be alive. And I used to like
Yeah,
watch
horrible.
them like intently for ages because I was so scared they would like look at me.
It is that kind of shit is scary. And my mom, mom, I absolutely love you, but my mom went through like a midlife something because at one point when I was a kid, my mom, absolutely love her, bought clowns, and she would put like these like um like art clowns around the house, and me and my sisters would be like, Mom, this is absolutely terrifying. And then she would like hang them, and it looks like they're hanging off of like a
I
bar,
hate that.
so that they'd be like twizzling on a bar, but it would be like this, I don't know, like statue of a
Oh god,
terrifying.
not
Mom, if you're
happening.
listening, that was a worst mistake that you ever made. That
If
was, it was
my
terrifying.
like if my mum did anything like that, like bought any kind of clown, that would be in the garden on fire within the second. There's no
I
way.
think she did. Yeah, we did. They're not around now, so they obviously did disappear at some point. But wonderful. I mean, fair play to my mom for having the guts to put clowns in the house. Like,
Oh
she's a
my
bad bitch.
god.
I love my mom. What a badass.
Right. Have you got anything else? You got another story?
Yeah, I've got three more.
Oh
Can I
my
give you another one?
god. This is gonna be a long minisode.
I know, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I'm going to rush through them. I used to baby kit for kids
I
down the
used to
street
baby
when I
kit
was in
for
high
Sids.
school.
That's what you said.
So rude.
I used
Okay.
to baby kit for Sids.
Okay. Do you know what? I just felt so rushed that I had to like run into that sentence, and I obviously hit a wall.
I'm dying. Oh,
Okay,
God,
let me
go
try
on.
and say that sentence again.
Go on.
I used to babysit for the kids down the street when I was in high school. God, these poor people have like had these wonderful stories that I'm just butchering. One night I went into my parents' room to get something. I think it was a puzzle. I went into their parents' room to get something,
Uh-huh.
a puzzle for the kids, right? And there was a book on the nightstand called How to Comfort Your Kids When You're Thinking of Divorce.
Ooh.
The next time I was over, there was a book downstairs on the mom's desk that was The Couple's Therapist Guide to Saving a Failing Relationship.
Ooh.
It made me really sad because the parents seemed really happy together whenever I saw them. I felt bad, they must have been going through a really hard time behind the scenes. My parents had a pretty unhappy marriage, so I tried to be extra nice to the kids. I hope they hadn't had to listen to any of their parents fighting or talks about this kind of conversation. Anyway, this went on for a few months with no further discussions of trouble. I felt like I knew this awful secret that the kids didn't know.
Uh-huh.
One night I came over to babysit. The mom, who was in grad school at the time and had a class, had run out of the house, leaving some books on the counter. As the mom was leaving, she was like, "Oh, I can't forget my textbooks," and grabbed them off. I actually didn't know what she was studying at the time, so I asked what class she had. Turns out she was studying to be a couples and family therapist. The books I saw were her school books, and in retrospect, that made complete sense because they were so nice and all of the titles seemed kind of academic, but I always just assumed the worst. About a decade later, they're still married and very successful couple and family therapist. Go figure.
Oh my god. I was wondering when that was going. I was just like, is this going to be like a violent divorce or something?
Kind of nice, isn't it? But it's sweet of this babysitter to be like, oh, this
Yeah.
terrible thing must be happening. I got to do a really good job, and then bless the mom's just stood.
I also was
That's
like,
great.
oh, is this woman like leaving around with the books as like hints to the husband?
Oh my gosh! But what if she was leaving them to like the babysitter as like an SOS symbol? Like,
My
I'm having a really bad
god.
marriage. Like, help a sister out.
That'd be really cool. If you have
That
any
is cool.
babysitter SOSs, let us know.
Yeah. Oh my gosh! Can you imagine? That's so cool.
Let me know.
I have two more. Do you have two more?
No, I have one more, so I'll do mine, and then you can do
Okay,
two of
cool.
yours. It's just one
Cool.
more. I only have like these little ones.
Okay.
So it's another creepy things. Okay, so I work at
Okay.
a summer camp, and one day I was playing with this kid who was jumping off of things and onto me. I said,
Okay.
"Hey, be careful! If you kill me, I can't play with you anymore." He looked me dead in the eyes and said, "No, but I can play with you."
Oh!
Isn't that great?
Oh, that's so scary.
Like, what a smart kid.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true.
Ooh, I almost said something really gross then.
Oh, God, don't go that dark.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it,
Don't go
but
that
my
dark.
immediate thought of just someone being dead and someone playing with them. I don't know. There's a lot of films that came to mind, but yeah, okay. Oh God,
Oh my
gross.
God.
Okay, I've got two more. I'm gonna give you a dark one, then I'm gonna give you a mystery-ish
You're going to give
one.
me a light finish.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try and give you a happy ending.
Okay.
Wee.
Wee.
Okay. So I babysat. Do you know what? Do you know what? Just
What is
cancel
with
this
that
podcast
word?
now.
What is with that word?
iTunes, take us off because I can't say the word baby. Baby shat. What? Baby shat. A baby shat. Someone.
Oh my God.
Anyway, right, I'm going to try and get through this. I babysat 3 young boys during my senior year of high school.
Uh-huh.
Their parents were separated and having marriage issues, but went on weekly date nights to work on their marriage, as well as attend counselling. What I didn't know was that the husband was abusing the wife at the time.
Ooh.
One day she filed a restraining order against him, and this made him go into a rage. He broke into her apartment, killed her, and then killed himself, all while the boys were home. Thankfully, the boys were able to escape out of the garage. And on this post was the...
I'm not laughing.
What are you laughing at, you sadistic bitch?
I'm laughing because I'm trying to be quiet.
I saw you chuckling. No, I think you're laughing at the baby shat. She did reference the news article that spoke about this, and it looked really deadly. It was quite
Deadly.
intense.
Well, yeah, 2 people died, Josh. Of
2
course it
people
was
died,
deadly.
yeah. Oh gosh, my foot is just right in my mouth. Anyway, I'm gonna finish us off nicely.
Okay. Was that the whole story?
Yeah, that was the whole story. He killed himself and killed them, and the boys just escaped.
That was dark.
Yeah. Sorry, there was no...
Save that one for the end, Josh.
No.
Bring us down.
Okay, no. I've got one. So, the last one. A family member of mine was a babysitter in the 70s.
Why is all about babysitting?
I know, that's true actually. I've got a lot of babysitting stuff. A couple who lived nearby would ask her to babysit often.
Mm-hmm. He's laughing now. He's just laughing. Oh my God.
I didn't get the sense that she knew them well, but she would go there a few times a week.
Uh-huh.
Every time she'd go, they said the baby was sleeping and not to disturb the baby by checking on it.
Mm.
The baby never cried. The parents would come home and relieve her of the duties, but never show her or introduce the baby to her.
Uh-huh.
At the time, my family member didn't think much of it.
Mm-hmm.
But she's told me this story several times because it always nagged her. How could a baby be asleep the entire time she was there, every time, with no noises, nothing?
Mm.
A few years later, it came out in the news that the couple had kept their dead, still life born in the room, preserved, and that's who she was babysitting the entire time.
That is horrendous.
Boom, boom, boom.
I thought you were going to end on a you said I tried to give you a happy ending, and then you gave us a dead baby. That's what happened there. You were like, I'm going to try and end on like a mystery on a lighter note, and then you gave us a stillborn dead baby that was kept by his parents, Josh. It's just not on.
I'm so ashamed. Can I really, really preface in saying that I don't find humour.
No,
in
it's
that.
not funny. We're not laughing at the story or the thing.
What I found funny in that story is just that this poor woman had gone and sat in the house just doing nothing. But I mean, of course, yeah, awful story at the end. I don't know why that was interesting to me, but I was just like,
it is interesting. It's really interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting to me because it's so dark.
Yeah.
You know, to be sitting in the house with a dead baby, never knowing that there's a dead baby in there.
I don't think you should say beforehand that you're going to end on a lighter note and then end with that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I did. I did.
You did set us up for that one.
I lubed us up nicely, pretending that was a nice story,
and then
when
we just
in fact it was really dark.
Down the dark tunnel.
Wow, that went south. Get your passports because we're going south.
Get your passports.
God. iTunes, take us off. Take us off. Get us off that podcast.
Oh my god, so funny.
Oh dear. That was good.
Oh.
Have you looked into your Saturday? Have you started your Saturday crime yet?
I have. I've actually finished it. So I know what I'm
Nice.
doing. It's not very long though. So if you have a long one, like that would be good. It would be a good time.
Okay,
It
cool.
was
I
just
have 3 that
interesting.
I'm choosing from.
Oh my god, I had an idea when I was like trying to find my Saturday crime, my big story. I came across 3 crimes that I really want to talk about, but each one is quite short. So I was thinking maybe we could do a special mini-sode
Great.
soon about crimes that happened in our towns.
Oh yeah.
Because the
Okay.
3 that I want to talk about happened in Sagamihara when we lived there.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Cool. 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 Cool.
So
So
we'll
we'll
do a
do
special.
Sagamihara and okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Maybe that will take a bit of time for me to find, but I'll find some at
Well, we'll
home. I'll
work it
find some
out.
real hometowns.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Cool. That sounds good.
What
I
about your
like
Saturday
that.
one? Have you done a Saturday one?
Yeah, I have 3. I'm mulling over 3 at the minute, but I've been researching the 3 of them, and I can't. I'm not happy enough with any of them that have come like a full circle yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have like dead baby in the room yet to
No.
feel completely comfortable. So,
Oh my god.
so
You know when you did that when you were saying that story, I thought it was gonna be like that film The Boy when it's like a doll. That's what I was
oh
thinking. I
wow.
was like, I was gonna be like the real
Maybe
life
I
of
should have
that.
self-edited. Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe I should have. I should have self-edited
Maybe
that
that
in.
would have
That
been
perhaps that would have been a
better.
bit lighter.
Yeah. But no, you went for
I'm
full on
sorry.
dead baby.
That's the kind of story that I would have told Jess, maybe personally.
That's what we're gonna call this mini-sode.
Dead baby.
Yeah, dead baby. Oh my god.
Lovely. Okay, well, I think we did it.
I think we did it. I bloody love orange.
Oh my god. I fucking love green.
All right.
Bye.
We'll see you next Saturday.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.